Hello YouTube humans and welcome back to my channel. This face may look familiar to you because I've just filmed a Get Ready With Me, but I severely cocked up my foundation. So I thought, what better opportunity am I going to get to do another foundation first impression / review. Today's foundation that I am testing is the EX1 Invisiwear foundation. I have mine in the shade 3.0. This really had like its moment probably about 18 months ago, and yet again, as per usual, I am way like off the bandwagon, not even like on the bandwagon like mailing list at all, so far beyond the hype with these kind of things. But still, I've heard really good things about it, even though I do have oily skin. It's meant to be like a radiant kind of skin-like foundation, so this should be entertaining. I am leaving to go to dinner in about half an hour. So this should be fun. I have to redo my face and makeup, hence why I have like my eyeshadow and my eyebrows still done, but I have to redo the rest of my face because I'm an idiot and arsed up my foundation earlier. So let's just dive straight into it, shall we? So as always, I'm going to prime my skin. Today I'm going to be using the Kiko Matte Face Base because I want my makeup to last and for me to not have to bring blotting papers and powder and concealer just to go for it. Sort of bloody fried chicken. My friends and I are going to a place called Absurd Bird for dinner. Never been. It's proper southern fried chicken, so this should be right up my alley. Oh, that feels burning. My skin feels very sensitive. This is not good already. So as you can see, across particularly my forehead, I've managed to scrub quite a lot of it off the rest of my face, but I basically severely cocked up my facial tan last night, and it went a horrible patchy mess. I tried to scrub it off, it didn't work. So then I tried to peel it off basically with the ordinary peeling solution, and that went all patchy, so that's gone well. And then I tried to put foundation over the top of it, and it didn't work. I'm trying to put this foundation over the top of it, see whether this works. This should be entertaining, and I have a massive red spot in the middle of my nose, so we're doing really well today. So as I said earlier, this is the EX1 Invisiwear liquid foundation. I have mine in the shade 3. So yeah, so there's lots of other garbage on the back. Oh cool. So that's the colour of it there. It looks to be a relatively decent shade for my tan, and it is running down my hand a smidge, so I would say it's a thick liquid verging on a cream, because a cream wouldn't move on the back of my hand. I'm going to apply one side of my face with a brush, one side of my face with a sponge to see how well it applies with both application methods. My skin's not been doing too bad recently. I've been looking over some old footage, and whether the foundation that I've been using has just been terrible and dry, or whether that's what my skin is like. Holy Jesus, does my face look like it needs a drink of water, not gin, unfortunately. It hasn't been looking its best in my recent content, and as I found out not too long ago, but I've still yet to do it, I had filmed a couple of foundation first impressions for me to have scheduled to upload while I was on holiday last week, and it turns out that I arsed up my camera settings. So the entirety of one video, the first bit, is out of focus, so I can't use it, and the second foundation first impressions that I did, the entirety of it is out of focus, and I haven't plugged my microphone in properly. So there's no sound, which is pretty key when you're describing what a product looks like on your skin. Well, I must say, this is looking quite lovely on my face right now. It's not covering this cock up here across my nose, but to be fair, a lot of things won't. I'm gonna see if I can... Heck, come on. I'm going to see if I can sort out this nightmare on my forehead. It does appear to be oxidising slightly, which I don't inherently mind. It just means that be careful of shade matching. That's as good as I'm going to get, but it's a lot better than it was. Well, I must say, I think in total that was one full pump I used with the brush on this side of my face. That looks delightful. It's sat quite well around my nose, which is interesting because nothing ever sits quite well around my nose. Even my skin tone enough, I can still see round here where I've arsed up with my tan, and on my forehead, but I mean, what can you do? And it's definitely not an incredibly luminous finish, but it's definitely not matte either. I think it says on the back it's supposed to be like skin like pigments almost invisible. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a skin finish foundation. I would say that's a solid medium-ish. A solid medium. I reckon if I wanted to, which today I will. I'll try and see if I can get a bit more evenness out of it around here. Okay, yeah, that's actually built itself quite well. It's still not full coverage, but it's definitely a decent medium plus. I am now, oh god, going to move on to the sponge side, which is somewhat concerning. If that's how it's looking with just like a dry brush, I don't know how well this side is going to last if I'm using a moist sponge. It is hard to go around the eyebrows with. Okay, I think that looks roughly the same in terms of coverage. That was really quick actually to apply with the sponge. I think actually I used probably about half a pump on this side, maybe 3/4 once I'd added that second layer over my chin, and I've used one full pump on this side. That looks quite good. Damn it. I always say to my friends, all these things that are hyped about, they're never bloody worth it, and then on first impressions I'm having to eat my own bloody words. That looks lovely on my skin. It's like just enough coverage. It's not gone horrible around my nose. It's not kind of settling anywhere. I am technically cheating, but I'm just going to see if I can get this bit on my forehead to cover with my beauty blend, well, with my Real Technique sponge, because that's going to piss me off if I don't, frankly. Real Technique sponges generally tend to build coverage better than brushes, because brushes tend to buff the coverage away, whereas with this you're kind of just patting it into the skin. I mean, it looks better. It's not gone, but it looks better. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to go apply the rest of my makeup now, and I will check back in with you when I've finished. And I'm back. So I've just applied like my normal Kiko bronzer, MAC Warm Soul and stuff. I can now, when I've applied the bronzer, I can see around my mouth where it's looking a little bit weird. But frankly, I'm probably the only person that's going to notice that, so that's fine. All my products applied really well over the top of that. It looks great at this point. Now obviously I've only had this on for about 20 minutes. I am going to leave in the not too distant future to go out for dinner with my friends, so that's a pretty big test to see whether how well it's going to deal with greasy fried chicken. It's probably not going to be the longest impressions in the world because it is currently already 5 to 5. I will leave this on as long as possible, but I'm not going to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning just so it's like an 8-hour wear test. That's not going to happen. So I'm going to get ready to go out for dinner, and I'll see you guys in a bit. BRB. Hello, I'm just after filming that last clip that you've just seen, and I wanted to show you what it looked like close up in natural light. So, I mean, obviously I've got texture everywhere because it's my face, and round here is obviously where my facial tan's looking a bit weird, but everywhere else, like, it's looking pretty good. I'm quite surprised. If you're interested in what this look is, it'll be my get ready with me look. If it's up, I'll link it on whatever side of the screen it decides to link itself on. But yeah, I've got like not long until I need to leave now, so I'm gonna grab my stuff and I'll see you guys at dinner. Hey guys, it is currently coming up on 9:30, so I want to say it's been like six and a bit hours maybe. I'm not 100% certain of when I last checked in. Around the 5-6 hour mark, and this is what we're looking like. I have been wearing a mask quite a lot, and I am looking quite shiny, but I'm not mad at it for, oh, I've got a bit of black on my nose and I've smudged it. I'm not mad at it because I have been wearing a mask for quite a large portion of the last kind of 4 or 5 hours or so, and it was very warm in the restaurant that we were at, so for it to only be this kind of glossy, I'm not mad at that after like 5 or 6 hours. So I'm gonna move back a bit and I'll leave it on for a little bit more, because like I said, it is 9:30 and I do need to go to bed at some point. I'll leave it on for as long as I can, and I'll double check back in the footage what time it was that I first applied it, and I'll leave it on for as long as I can. Hello, I am back and I have plaited my hair so I look slightly more skinheady than normal. That's my phone just going off. So it is currently, if you are interested, if you are not, it does not matter. Currently 25 to 1 in the morning as I'm sat in bed. I'm currently watching Pitch Perfect 2 because I can. So I checked back earlier in the footage that I recorded. So I think I first put this foundation on at about 4:30. It's now 12:30, so I've worn this for about 8 hours, and I am quite pleasantly surprised by this. Like, other than getting oily, which frankly every foundation does, it's come off a little bit across my chin and a little bit across my nose where I've had my mask on, but other than that, it's perfectly fine. Like, I could blot, I could powder, and I could carry on with this. It looked really, really natural and really skin-like, like after I just first applied it. So I'm surprised really at how much I like this foundation. So I think what I'm going to be doing moving forward, I'm going to probably look at all the foundations that I've reviewed, and then every kind of 2 months or so do a roundup of whether I have continued to use them, whether my first impressions have changed, and whether there's something that I have passed on or whether I still use them or whatever. But I think based on this is something that I'll definitely keep using, because this looks frankly great for being on my skin for 8 hours. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up so more people can find it, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Sorry that the lighting is incredibly yellow, but what can you do? I'm not going to set up my studio lights to film like an outro. I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy. But yeah,